Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the United Way Forward, the Manchester United versus Arsenal Premier League preview. Manchester United face Arsenal on Sunday, the 12th of May, and a big, tough game. Big game for both teams. Probably going to be a tough game for one team, and that's probably us. But yeah, look, a very big game on Sunday at Old Trafford. And look, I'm coming at this game with no confidence, and I think that's what people would expect from Manchester United fans. Look, as much as I'd love to sit here and say I think we're going to get a result on Sunday, I think I'd be lying to you, and unfortunately, I don't want to lie to you. Look, before we get stuck into the free preview, please do like the video, comment your expectations, predictions, all that stuff for the game against Arsenal. And please do subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And you know what? We're not that well, but we know 71 away, I think it is, from 1,000. So things are looking bright. And please do follow our socials as well. Links in the description. And I haven't said this in a while. If the links in the description don't work, please let us know in the comments, and we'll put new links in the description and under your comment to a certain social media. But yeah, look, let's get stuck into this game. Manchester United are coming into this game with no confidence to be shown. No decent spell, no decent form. We're showing form, but it's bad form. It's honestly, life as a Manchester United fan at the moment is not great, not exciting, very depressing. Look, it's mad because we're coming to the end of the season now. And this time last season, we were, Jesus Christ, I think this is our second last home game of the season. We have Arsenal and then we have Newcastle. So Newcastle's our last home game of the season. But this is the biggest one, I feel, dependent. But this time last season we were pretty much we knew we were going to be Champions League football next season. We had a Carabao Cup under our belt. We were in an FA Cup final. We are in good form. Spirits were high. Confidence was high. Everything looked great. We looked like we were turning a corner. A year after, we're 8th in the Premier League. Loads of injuries. Losing 4-0 to Palace. A manager could be on his way out. The new Ratcliffe coming in is probably the only good thing of the season, to be fair. But it's honestly how things can change in life and a season is it's unbelievable. Unfortunately, it's not a good thing. But as you can see beside me, there will be a live watch along on Sunday from 4 p.m. Yeah, 4 p.m. 30 minutes beforehand. I know usually sometimes we go live 15 minutes beforehand, but because this is a big game, we'll go live at 30 minutes beforehand. Team news, thoughts, just pretty much build up, see how people are feeling for this game. Are we already accepting defeat? Let's see what happens. So please do join me for a watch along here on Sunday on YouTube from 4 p.m. Much appreciated. So let's get stuck into Manchester United's form. As you can see, we have not great. A 2-2 draw against Bournemouth. We did draw 3-3 against Coventry, but I did go to penalty. So as you can see, the P beside us, that means we won our penalties. We beat Sheffield United 4-2. We drew 1-1 against Burnley, and we lost against Crystal Palace by 4-0. Just saying you're as good as your last game. That's shit. 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. And I'm going to say here, we should be beating teams like Bournemouth. We should be comfortably beating Coventry. Sheffield United wasn't as easy as that scoreline makes it out. We had to come back twice from behind. Burnley, we should be beating them. And Palace, I know they're in good form. Right, we shouldn't be losing like that. That's what I'll say. We shouldn't be losing like that, and that's ridiculous. Because my question is, how bad can it get on Sunday and before the season ends? How bad can it get in the Arsenal game, the Newcastle game, and the Brighton game? How bad can it get? And the Man City game too, in the FA Cup final, you can't forget. How bad can it get? I said in the Palace preview, didn't I? Last Friday, I said, do not be surprised if we don't win our next few games. Don't be surprised if you don't. At the time, I says, don't be surprised if you lose against Palace. Don't be surprised if you lose against Arsenal, Newcastle, and Brighton, and Manchester City. Do not be surprised. And you know what? As much as I said that, I was hoping I was going to be wrong. Now, look, I feel like the only games we could possibly get a result out of is the Brighton game. But that's away. Newcastle, you never know. You never know. But look, I really don't know what to expect. I know what to expect in this game and the Man City game. Newcastle and Brighton is a game we'll talk about we'll leave that for another day. But could this be another thrashing against the Gunners? Arsenal top of the league as of now. That could probably change before Sunday because Man City play on Saturday. But you're coming into this game against Arsenal, and we lost 4-0 against Palace, who are not as good as Arsenal. But Arsenal are, I feel anyways, are better this season than they were last season. I really, really do. I feel like we're a lot shit this season and we were better last season. Honestly, we're inconsistently shit. Like, we're an embarrassment. And I hate to say that. I really, really do, but I can only say it as I see it, and a spade is a spade, and a shit is a shit, and unfortunately that's what Manchester United is. And look, if Arsenal don't beat us in this game, you do not deserve to win the title. Sack Arteta. But unfortunately, I don't think. For us, I don't think Arsenal have to worry about beating us, because I think they'll do it. I really do. I hate it. I mean, I'd love to end the preview now and put all my negative thoughts behind me, but unfortunately, I can sit here and say, we're going to win, we're going to beat them. It's going to be a tough fight. It'll be tough. It'll be a very, very tough game for Manchester United. But I mean, look, I'll talk about what to expect in a minute and how we can pull off a shock and beat them. Don't expect that part to be on. But I mean, look, the team looks like it's given up. The performances are terrible. There's no effort shown on the pitch. And that's not good. The players look like they've given up. That's it. Done. They look like they're done. And if you're getting better around against Palace, no disrespect, Arsenal, yeah, it's at Old Trafford. Yes, Arsenal don't really have a lot of glory when they come to Old Trafford, but I tell you what, this is the time to come here and put all that bad times at Old Trafford behind Arsenal. I do not want it to be 8-2 to Arsenal. 8-2, the players, Ten Hag, the whole lot of them can go to the job centre or do something. Start digging. Start becoming I don't know, someone that works on construction sites, because you might need to dig a hole to put yourself in it, because if you get caught, you'd be bet. But look, the team, you look at the team against Palace. Yeah, I know people can say, well, look at the injuries and all. Yeah, that's fair enough, but you shouldn't be getting bent over backwards against Burnley and Palace and Coventry and Sheffield and Bournemouth. I know we beat Sheffield United in that, but you can't forget we were behind twice in that game. Twice. And I feel like if Bruno wasn't on the pitch for that game against Sheffield United, I'm going to say it, I think we would have lost against bottom of the league Sheffield United. And that's just ridiculous. It really, really is ridiculous. And look, I wouldn't be surprised if people are watching this now laughing at me, but fuck you. But no, in all seriousness, unfortunately, this is what it is. This is what it is. As Manchester United, we're meant to be one of the biggest and best football clubs in the world. I mean, look, we're the biggest, I'll say that, but the best football on the pitch, no, we're shit, but I like to say we're the best in the world, but at the moment in time, we're not. But this is going to be a huge, huge game. I want Arsenal to win the title. I do. But Manchester United, if Manchester United get a result against City, I'm not going to say, oh shit, City's going to win. I'll be delighted. If we get a draw against City, look, I'm not going to celebrate, obviously, but I'll be like, right, we didn't lose. That's a positivity. If we win, brilliant, happy days. Well, if we lose, it'll be a kick in the teeth if we lose, obviously. If you draw, the best result we can get. at the way we're playing. It's a draw. That's the best we can do at this moment in time. But you know, we actually need the points, because I feel like if we lose this game, European football next season is going to be looking very unlikely. And even at this moment in time, before we've even played Arsenal, European football is looking very, very unlikely next season. We're 8th in the Premier League. 7th is Conference League. 6th and 5th is Europa League. We'd be very, very lucky if we can finish 7th. Chelsea, who have been shit this season, are above us. Who have lost a lot of games. Who have had a couple of injuries. A bit like ourselves. But they can say, look, it's Pochettino's fourth season. What do you expect? I mean, my God, if Chelsea are going to finish above us, something is wrong at this football club. Something is wrong with this football club if that's the case. But look, they're doing their business, we're doing our business. But I do have a bit of team news. Mason Mount is unfortunately out injured again. I mean, look. Oh, we get players back and another one goes out injured. It's a shame for Mason Mount. It really, really is. Ten Hag hasn't said what his injury is. He just says he's injured again. So it's a bit of a shame for Mount. I mean, come on. What's going on? I don't know what the hell's going on behind the scenes. But he also has said McTominay and Bruno are back in training. And supposedly so is Marcus Rashford as well. Ten Hag says Lisandro Martinez is also available, but he has to play against Arsenal, but it's too soon. So he's all right to play, but Ten Hag says it's too soon. He said he's desperate to play. The team has missed him. He wants to play, but has had 3 injuries across the season. He's injury-free now and has to get back into the team. He says, I never gamble with a player's fitness. It's about them and the futures. That's the most important thing. I have to take responsibility for it. The health of the players is always of high importance. So Martinez, Rashford, Bruno, McTominay, they are fit to play. I know. I mean, you imagine Bruno will be fine. It's yet to be seen with the rest. But Martinez can play. Then I just want to risk him. I wonder if he'll even be on the bench. I mean, I'd rather have him on the bench at least. If you need to bring him on, bring him on. You don't have to start him, just bring him on. And unfortunately, Luke Shaw has suffered a setback in his recovery, but is among a group of players desperate to return for the FA Cup final. I mean, I'm not being bad now, but if Luke Shaw's fit just for the FA Cup final, you can't bring him back in. All right, let's bring him back in. He hasn't played in a long time. Let's throw him back in. You can't do that. You need to have players back now. For the remaining Premier League games, you have to have them back in that time. You can't say, right, Luke Shaw's back for the FA Cup final. Let's play him. I know what you're saying. Well, Dino, I'd rather have a half-fit left back than no left back. But I don't know. But it will be very, very interesting to see what happens on Sunday. I mean, look, what can you expect? I think Arsenal are going to have a lot of the ball. I do think we'll be probably similar to what we've seen against Liverpool and Newcastle this season in the Premier League at Old Trafford, where we sit back and try and beat them on the counter-attack. Arsenal have a lot of the ball. I feel like they have a lot of chances. I wouldn't be surprised if we concede more than 20 to 25, 30 shots in this game, because it's happened numerous amount of times. We like conceding a lot of shots in a lot of games. I think, like I said, I just think Arsenal are going to have a lot of the ball. They're going to have a lot of chances, a lot of shots, and I just think we're going to sit back and try and beat them on the counter-attack. But when we get the ball, we have to be quick with it, and we have to be very, very wise with the decisions we make going forward, offensively and even defensively too. But look, how can we beat Arsenal? I mean, I don't know. I really don't know, and I want you to let me know in the comments below. How do you think we can beat Arsenal? Is it possible? I don't think it is, but if someone had a gun to my head and said, right, how do you, if I had to manage Manchester United on Sunday, what would I do with the situation we're in? Personally, I'd go with you'd have to get all the players to sit back. We'd have to sit back. Don't press. Players will have to have all our players in their own half. The double pivot. Stay there. Don't move. Stay there. Sit deep. Don't move. Stay there. Help the defense. Don't the attack. Bruno and whoever's playing on the wings and striker, let them do the attack. But the two defensive midfielders and the defense, Onana, just sit back. Don't come forwards. Sit back. Because I tell you what, if we try and push forwards, if we try and play our high line, which we can't do, But if we get more likely Wan-Bissaka and Dalot to push up and overlap, Arsenal, who will have you have Martinelli, you have Trossard, you have Saka, you have Odegaard, you have Jesus, Havertz, whichever one of them they play, they'll hurt us coming forwards. They'll hurt us coming forwards because then we have no one coming back. We have no wing backs. We only have the defence, the two centre backs, which are not good enough at the moment because they are Casemiro and Johnny Evans. They're not good enough. They're not quick enough. They can't take on quick players. You can only knock them down. That's the best you can do. But you cannot take them on totally. So what I want to see is, which is a shame, but what if I say to the players, right lads, sit back. Dalot, I tell the full backs to sit back. The centre backs, you obviously stay back. Stay back. The double pivot, two defence midfielders, sit deep. Don't move. Stay. Don't push up. Don't go past that halfway line. Don't get near that halfway line. You stay. Like, be literally sitting on the defender's foot. Like, honestly. And then the wingers, they do their bits. They get forwards. Give Rasmus a bit of service. Get him in. See what it's like physically. And then help the defence. Come back onto defence. Everyone track. When Arsenal get the ball, hit them back. Like, when Arsenal eventually get possession and get hold of the ball, don't press. I don't want to see a press. Back on the halfway line and make sure they can't break you down. And then going forwards, then I'd say keep the defenders and the defence. Keep the midfield, the two defensive midfielders and the defenders back. Now, I'm not a manager. This may sound ridiculous, but I'm just trying to put a rough idea in. And then Bruno, the wingers, the striker of Manchester United, which I could probably just say, probably more like, obviously Rasmus be up top, Garnacho definitely playing. Who plays? Anthony, Rashford, whichever. We'll just say Rashford, for instance, and Anthony, Rashford, Garnacho, Rasmus, and Bruno. Be quick going forwards, take shots, and don't be afraid to have a physical battle and give it into Rasmus. Because that's all we can do. And I know Rashford has been shit this season, but get the ball to him if he's true, because he has pace. And Garnacho, don't be afraid to take on your man. I don't want to see Fer stuck in. But let's talk about Arsenal's form. Obviously, they lost 1-0 against Bayern, which was in the Champions League, so they lost 3-2 aggregate. They beat Wolves 2-0. They beat Chelsea 5-0. They beat Tottenham 3-2. They beat Bournemouth 3-0. So Arsenal in the previous 5 have 4 wins, 0 draws, and 1 loss. Not bad. The top goal scorer is Saka with 16 goals. Their top assister is Saka with 9. And I mean, look, Arsenal are looking for a title. They're going to come in here. They're in good form. I can't remember that. I mean, that's the last time they lost a game was against Bayern. In their previous 5, anywho. I mean, look, they're danger man for me, and you may disagree with me, but I feel like I'm going to say Rice, because Arsenal, Rice is a bit, he likes getting forwards. He's a bit of a threat. He keeps them going. I mean, Saka as well, but Rice has been one of their main men this season because he gets them going. He's a threat. What he does. I mean, I think he's been a brilliant signing for Arsenal. I mean, look, I remember when we were linked with him, I didn't want to spend a lot of money on him, but you look what he's doing now for Arsenal. He's giving them that extra push. I eat my words now, unfortunately, but I do think that he's been a main man for them. Bit of a leader, you could say, Declan Rice. I mean, you look at him at West Ham when he was there. He was always vocal, doing well, telling players where to go, finding long balls, and he also knows how to find the back of the net as well. So Declan Rice is the main man. I mean, look, how can Arsenal beat us? Not really that hard. Press us, hit us through the defence, the midfield too, which is not great, but look at our defence. We're very, very vulnerable in the defence. Test the defence. Arsenal have more than enough to beat us as well, which is unfortunately a thing I don't want to say, that I don't like saying, but I have to say. Let's go through a few stats. But look, like I said about Arsenal, before we jump into the stats, they're the main threat. I do think they are. Like I said, I think the signings that they've brought in have definitely, in the summer, I've given them a big push. I think Declan Rice has definitely been their best signing of the season, I'll be brutally honest with you. but they have an extra push. And like I said, I think they're better this season than they were last season. I mean, by this time last season, there was no chance of them winning at all. And even when they've lost games, they've made a bit. They've bounced back well, and they've made themselves looking. They bounced back like a normal team would who are trying to win a title, like a top class team as well. But yeah, definitely a threat. But look, let's jump into the Manchester United stats in the Premier League this season. Manchester United's average goal scored per match is 1.49. Average goals conceded per match is 1.57. They have 8 clean sheets in the Premier League so far this season, Man United. Chances created per match was 1.66. Manchester United 8 in the Premier League with 54 points with a goal difference of -3. On to Arsenal. Average goals scored per match is 2.44. Average goals conceded per match is 0.78. 17 clean sheets. I think it's already been confirmed he's going to be he wins the Golden Glove Award. Chances created per match 2.22, and Arsenal as of now are fourth in the Premier League with 83 points with a goal difference of 60. Wow. Just wow. But look, I'm going to go through. But look, you look at them stats. Arsenal are better than us. We look like a relegation team with them stats we have. Like Arsenal with goal difference of 60, we have -3. 63 more goals than us. Wow. I look where Arsenal were a few years ago as well. Shy circumstances. Now look at them now. I mean, yeah. Arteta has done a very good job there, to be fair, when he wasn't under pressure and Arsenal fans wanted him to be sacked. But look, let's jump into my predicted 11. Here it is. I'm going to go with Onana in goals. A back four of Dalot, Evans, Casemiro, Wan-Bissaka. I'll go Leach to start. I would look Leach to start, but like Ten Hag said, he's not going to risk him to play. I'm not a fan of that defence. I would go with Dalot left back. We put him back right back against Palace, and I don't know why, because I thought Dalot wouldn't do too bad as the inverted left back role in the previous games. You played him in there. A midfield trio of Kobbie Mainoo, Scott McTominay, and Bruno Fernandes. I mean, look, some may say, again, I don't know whether McTominay is 100% fit, but the reason why I play him there is because, look, we need a bit of physicality in that midfield, a bit of height, a bit of strength, and he has that. But again, Eriksen just doesn't have the pace, doesn't have the physicality, doesn't have the strength, doesn't really have anything anymore, unfortunately, for Eriksen in the Premier League. So that's why we'll play McTominay, and he could be a bit of help going forward if needs be. I feel like Ten Hag would give McTominay insurance or the all clear, the go ahead to go forwards when we have the ball on the counter attack. Then I'm going to go with Rashford on the left, Garnacho on the right, and Rasmus Højlund up top. Now look, I know people may say you're starting 2 players who've been injured, starting them straight away. Would you rather start McTominay or Eriksen or Rashford and Antony? Some are probably saying Antony, fair enough, but I feel like Rashford, if we're trying to go with if we're going to try and beat them on the counter attack, you need to have Marcus Rashford. Yeah, I know he's been poor, but it is what it is. I wouldn't mind starting Ahmad, but I don't think that will be the case, unfortunately, for him or us. But Rashford, the ball over the top, we will need that. Again, you're coming up against 2 big man mountain defenders, and so will Rasmus and so will Garnacho in Saliba and Gabriel. So it will be tough, but the pace hopefully will work in our favour with Garnacho and Rashford, and hopefully Rasmus is up for a physical day. Score prediction. I hope Rashford, this group, if this team does start, I would have them to start, put in a shift. Don't be lazy. Score prediction, unfortunately, I mean, like I said, I'd love to sit here and say we'll beat them or we'll get a draw against them, but unfortunately, I think I'd be on the line, and I am going to go with a 3-0 loss to Manchester United. I think Saka will score, Havertz and Declan Rice. I'm just going to go for it. I just think Arsenal. No, I'm going to go Saka, Odegaard and Rice. I just think Arsenal this season, you compare them to us, we're not great. I can't even see us scoring, to be honest. I know that team there that predicted, that's just the best I can do, to be fair. But that's 3-0 loss. I know some may say I think we'll score, but I don't think he'll be tight at all. I think we may get them to the 30th minute, and then they'll eventually find the back of the net. But hopefully we can have a good start. I really do. If we have a good start, score the first goal, well then it could be a good game for us. But here's hoping. But look, this has been the Manchester United versus Arsenal Premier League preview. Bit of a depressing one, unfortunately, but hopefully it's all better. Hopefully the post-match show and the watch-along is a lot better than this. Please do like the video, comment your predictions for the upcoming game, and subscribe. And I'll speak to you all on the next one. Come on, let's get the win. Come on.